people of the World Wide Web. So it is the weekend, it is movie review time. Yes, so this week I have for you is Megaloplis. So this is the new Francis Ford Coppola movie. It is 2 hours and 18 minutes long. People who have watched the trailers and probably like me don't kind of get or understand what is going on in this movie. Essentially, this movie portrays the kind of modern world as a new Rome. You have the mayor who is trying to look after the people of his society. He has a kind of wealthy businessman and his family who are all about kind of control. And then you have Adam Driver's character, who is Caesar. He is a kind of brain box intelligent guy, and basically he wants to create a utopia for the human race, and it's their interactions within this. There is nothing after the credits or the scenes. Francis Ford Coppola is a very big advocate of not doing stuff like that, so there's nothing. And yeah, I watched it, it was late, I was a little tired, and to be honest, I didn't find it the greatest of stories, but I will bang the spoiler warning up and we'll get into it. So first things first, a little bit of background if you don't know. So this movie was initially created and meant to come out, or designed to come out, in the early 2000s. Unfortunately, due to some of the settings that mirrored scenes from 9/11, which doesn't feature in this version, it was scrapped. And then there's kind of gone through different reiterations. So if you imagine, we're kind of 20 years later from when this movie could have been out. I think it would have been a different beast back then. But anyway, so as I said, we're in this kind of, the outside of all the buildings looks like most of the modern buildings that we have now, are separate from a few statues and stuff like that you see. It is set in modern time, but it is New Rome, so everyone kind of has different type of royal names like Caesar and stuff like this. Like Claudio, Hamilton, and all these names are where the people, they sometimes dress a little bit like Romans. There is a scene with a theatre where there is horses and carriages fighting, and you don't see much technology. There are two scenes, one with a big digital camera, and one with loads of photos. The rest of it, you never see a computer or anything else like this. It is all kind of down to the actors and actresses and the setting of the scenes, and a very primitive paper and stuff like this. So as we start off with the movie starts off with Adam Driver. He's on the side of what looks like a building. He goes to lean over and then basically manages to freeze time. He steps back and then unfreezes time, and it is all magical. He doesn't quite know what's going on. Then the story develops. We have kind of a party that this goes to. You see a lot of the famous main characters there. So you have Shia LaBeouf's character as Claudio. He is the cousin of John Voight's character, who is Hamilton, who's kind of the big businessman for this. You have a TV personality, Aubrey Plaza, as Wow Platinum. She is the kind of hook up to Adam Driver's character, and then ends up marrying John Voight's character. And then you have the mayor, played by Gianfranco Esposito. He wants to just mainly focus on, getting people into jobs and do it like a government should be, for the people, and that's what you want. He doesn't think about the future. He doesn't think about the past. He's thinking about the now and what he can do. As he is mayor, he's quite revered in this a lot, and he has his daughter Julia, played by Natalie I can't even MUL, I've got it. Oh yeah, she plays Julia. So essentially, as this party is happening with all these major characters afterwards, the mayor's daughter, she gets in a car and drives, and there is another scene where a building is being demolished, and Adam Driver's character is doing a demolition, and part of the way through it, he pauses it, and Julia looks out the car window, and she is the only other person unpaused. This kind of then sparks her interest in Adam Driver's character. And then they end up kind of having a relationship, and that's where that side of things goes for them two. Aubrey Plaza's character, well, you find out that at first Adam Driver was hooking up with her, and then she kind of goes off to John Voight because that's where the power is, and then kind of manipulates his nephew, played by Shia LaBeouf's character, because Shia LaBeouf is cousins with Adam Driver's character, and there's a lot kind of almost backstabbing, and they try to, kill off John Voight's character. All this is basically down the storyline of, I say, the mayor. You have his objective that he wants to think about the city and do what's right for him, but he's revered. You have John Voight's character. He's just interested about money and about getting, the way to do it, and he's sorting his family out because they're a bit of a mess, so to speak. They're all famous. You see this runway shooting at, and they all have all these posh clothes and stuff, but they're not really in the business side of things. And then you have Adam's Driver character away trying to come up with this utopian city, and that's why the building was demolished, and that's where he's going for. He sees the future of when he creates this city, people won't need to work and stuff like that, and there's transport, and everybody else will be good, and that's kind of where the story is. When he meets Julia and they kind of fall in love, this is kind of becomes his muse. And obviously then there's the kind of side plot that Aubrey Plaza's character, she wants him back, but he's definitely moved on, because Adam Driver's character is with the character of Julia. Obviously her dad, the mayor, is very much opposed to him because he wants to think about the now, and then it's all kind of this resolution, and then it leads up to the utopian city kind of being built, and everybody kind of coming around to the idea of thinking, as you see, it's I say there's a lot going on, and it is done in a way that can become very confusing in my eyes. So what did I think of this movie? I'm going to rate this movie a 4.7 out of 10. You're probably thinking, why not? For me, there is kind of so much going on. So you have the main character of Adam Driver, and you kind of get where he wants to go utopian, but they kind of have the setting. It's modern time, but it's New Rome. They're all called Roman kind of characters. There are some scenes in the very beginning that kind of make them talk like Shakespeare characters, which is kind of, if you don't know Rome or anything, and maybe that is, they don't kind of battle each other. It's just literally, as I say, but if you kind of take away how they dress and how they look, it's just a kind of modern day story of people wanting to screw each other, but it's done so, the world is so weird, and it so focuses on these people that essentially the overall story of Adam Driver want to create a utopia. You never really get to see the people. You see the people in a few instances and a few scenes, and there's but it's like 20 people in front of a railing or stuff, or there's a CG bit near the end. It's like, so you never really get that, the people are that bad off and they need this dystopia, even though people say it. It's more focused about the characters and their selfish parts. Obviously Adam Driver's character is called Caesar. His love interest, which comes his wife, is called Julia. So Julia, Caesar, the Rome kind of theme. I don't know why the Rome theme is even in there. It's kind of like he wanted, Francis Ford Coppola wanted to do this modern day story. I want to have this businessman and this really intelligent person and stuff like this, but I will throw the Rome themes in there, which I just don't think really work. The acting across the board isn't that great. I mean, I do love Adam Driver's character. I think Gianfranco Esposito, he was by probably the best acting, because he's a very in two minds of his character's in two minds, and he has to kind of transfer. And I think he that is relayed the most clear cut, because there are a lot of lines. I found Shia LaBeouf's character to be very weird. At the point he goes through stages of being like a playboy and stuff, and then very much makeup, and he wears a dress at one point and a few other bits, but then he's interested in his aunt who's screwing him over, and then he's got this mate who's kind of knocking people off to help kind of be a face of the modern people. But I say it is not the richest of stories, because the whole point of the story is obviously, the people are suffering, but you don't really get to see what you see in the trailer of the statues and stuff. I don't really know they're there, but when he drives up, that's kind of, they're there to show that how the people are imprisoned, and it's kind of metaphorical and very much maybe a little bit like the 2001 AD, there's so much symbolical stuff throughout it that you kind of don't get to relate to it. As I said, it was late and I was a little tired. I'm not going to lie, so maybe it was lost a little bit on me. But I mean, the fact it shows like Adam Driver at the very beginning, he can freeze time, and then he freezes time a few times, and there's a few other weird scenes that he's in and stuff. But then all it is kind of him finding someone, and when he finds the person he loves and they have a baby, then he builds a utopia. It's not really the greatest story ever in the world of things. The fact of John Voight's family tried to screw him over, he gets one of them. Again, isn't the greatest story in the world, you know, apart from having it in modern time, no technology, but having all these stories going on. I said it doesn't really focus on one thing, and I don't think it comes across great. I see why it's not done very well. I mean, even the trailer doesn't give you a clear glimpse. I mean, if you wanted it to be Rome and the new Rome, then I think like you should have probably got more method actors into this. The scenery of stuff should have changed. Like the internal of some buildings looks kind of a little bit Romey, but not. And then obviously if you're doing all this Rome is never, as far as I don't know any of the historical things, but I don't think they've ever wanted to, create a utopia for people. I believe it was like you rule and you would rule that nation and probably wouldn't rule the other nations, and that's it, which isn't, again, another thing. And that's it. I mean, this isn't one for me. I will probably never revisit this movie. I must admit, this year hasn't been the best for movies, and kind of I'm getting this feeling, and maybe it's just a changing of the times, that, and nothing against Francis Ford Coppola or any of the people in it, because I've liked quite a lot of movies and stuff that other these people have done, but it just feels like I have no idea how a studio A, greenlit this, B, test audiences liked it for them to actually release it, the movies. But that is just my thoughts and feelings. Have you seen this movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.